From the City of Angels, you're listening to the James Salazar Media Podcast. On this week's episode, we're going to talk about my past predictions last year and my new prediction for the coming year concerning futurism. So let me strike the music and I'll meet you on the other side.
Engage.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Say hello to my little friend.
No, I am your father.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
And welcome to the James Salazar Media Podcast, where you get your dose of pop culture, politics, and futurism. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope your New Year went right, great, rate. That was like great and right put together, rate. And your Christmas went well. As you know, every year I make predictions of where I think futurism, space, technology, whatever it may be, in the same realm, I try to make predictions for what's going to happen in the coming year. But we cannot go on without addressing the predictions I made the last year. And they weren't good. Most of all because Elon Musk got tied up in a Twitter debacle. Also, the Ukrainian war sort of slowed things down, and some weather stopped a lot of space travel. And my predictions for space travel were pretty bad, considering those things. I expected a much greater year, and we're going to get into that. But one of the things I did get is the Space Webb telescope, that it was going to give us amazing pictures. They're so amazing that a lot of people think they're faked, that there are special effects. But we definitely have gotten over and identified over 5,000 planets. And we've looked deep into the universe and saw more galaxies, more solar systems than ever before. And the ones that we already have taken picture, they are so fine-tuned and clear. It is amazing. Go on Google and type it, the James Webb telescope recent pictures, your mind will be blown. The vastness and the amazing, it's mind-blowing. One of the other things we can say happened, we found the biggest comet through the James Webb telescope and other devices. We found the biggest comet, and it's going to get close to the Earth in 2031. We saw that. And we crashed a satellite into an asteroid to see if we can move it, as an attempt to see if those things are possible, to take those things out of science fiction and see if we can do it in reality. And so they crashed it to see if they can nudge it. And they were, first of all, they successfully crashed it, which was very hard. Out in outer space, we never have done anything close to that. And we found out, after further review, it did nudge it in the way, and nudged it more than we thought it would. And the reason for that is because if we can see an asteroid or a meteor coming at us, that is going to be an Earth impact. If we can catch it in time, we can throw something at it, nudge it, and as you know, when you nudge something, it eventually gets further away. See, this is the planet right here, and it's coming. We hit something. If you have enough time, you can get it nudging and nudging and wholly miss the Earth. Well, that was confirmed. We can do that. we have proof that that can be done for the first time in history, not just in movies like Deep Impact and Armageddon and all the other crazy movies. I don't know. There's probably more. So, like James Webb's predictions went well. I told you it would be a silent year for artificial intelligence. And it wasn't so silent as much as the fear rhetoric has went down, and we're seeing AI encompass everything in our lifestyle, and we're just accepting it. We seem not to worry about it. And it was a good year for artificial intelligence when it comes to business and quantum computing. And it being funneled in every part of our life. In a sense, if all the fears of artificial intelligence are true, which might be, and there's arguments against it, is that we have already let enough of it in our lives that it could, if it turned evil, it can fuck up a lot of shit already for how much it's implemented. Just on a personal level, running our investments in our banks and our cars and other things that need it. So we've already, the fear rhetoric went down and we have become more accepting of it. Whether it is conscious and fielding challenging mindsets like whether humans should be controlled or eliminated, we have no idea. We have no idea. China had a good year. They created a space station for themselves. They had a great year. Way better than us. Jeff Bezos threw Captain Kirk into space. Cool. But it was very low orbit. It's nothing that SpaceX is planning to do in this next coming year. So, barring there is no pandemic, barring that America is not at war with China or Russia, these are my predictions for the coming year. But let me take a moment to talk about the things I've been doing. Now, I haven't done a podcast in 2 months, and I haven't done very many this year. Almost averages about once a month. Now, I have brought more things into, I've been doing more things in my YouTube page. I have 2 new segments. They are Intellectual Anarchy, and I will have, if you, this QR code right here, there's a QR code here, and if you're listening on audio podcast, I will have the link in the show notes. It will link you to everything I'm doing new, but if you just take a picture of that, it'll link you to these segments on my YouTube page called Intellectual Anarchy, where we talk about philosophy, religion, and politics. And we have the Brightburn YouTube Academy, where we talk about mindsets and belief systems that are needed to be a successful entrepreneur. We also have a brand new Facebook group called the Brightburn Society Facebook group, where we get people with like-minded on the same journey as you, trying to be an entrepreneur, and we do trainings and we field questions and we ask questions of each other, and motivational quotes and motivational speaking. And there'll be a link to there also to join the Brightburn Society Facebook group. I started that this year, and I have a handout called an ebook for you. It's called Be Great at Everything You Do Blueprint. It is a very important book, ebook. It's very short and condensed on a teaching that I often teach. And that's an ebook that is free to you. Also, if you want to use me for any speaking, or if you want to use me for any live coaching, there's also links to that in that QR code, and there'll be a link in the show notes. I'm planning to implement the Future Republic, which has to do with futurism, which we're talking about here today in the James Salazar Media Podcast, and I will be opening another podcast called The Capitalist, where we talk about capitalism and the defense of capitalism as the most moral economical system, and interview people who have opened business, entrepreneurs, CEOs, whenever we can get them, and ask them how they did it and what holes they fell in and what holes they were able to avoid. And as we learn from their failures and success, I hope that we begin to learn what it takes to be someone who is self-motivated, self-disciplined, and a self-starter to fulfill your dream, goals, talent, hobby, whatever it may be. So that's my quick commercial. Like I said, take pictures of that QR code. It will link you to everything I'm talking about, and the link will be in the show notes of the James Salazar Media Podcast. So here's my predictions for the next year. I think we're going to see a big bump in eye technology. I think we're going to see the beginnings of new technology where we're going to have, I think corporations like Apple and Samsung, they want to get rid of the phone, this handheld thing. And they want all the information to come from our eye, we will see it like a digital screen, sort of like how the Terminator, you watch Terminator, and when you're looking from the view of the Terminator, we see all these schematics, right? Not have something in our hands. There's a show called Upload, and they have a ring, and they have a contact implant, and basically they go like this, they go like that, and the screen of the phone goes right here. Now the ring is the camera, and you can show everybody, and it will mirror everything, and you can mirror yourself and record yourself. Hi everyone. But the technology is all in the eye and in the ring. So it's very interesting when they came up with that. So they would go, somebody will be ringing, and they go boom, and they have a facial FaceTime with someone like that, and they close their hand. It was very interesting. It didn't actually have a phone, and this is a sci-fi TV show. But I think this is where it's going. We're going to see this technology happen. It may not be like what I'm showing you there. That would be an end result to every user. But I think we're going to see this in military application if it's not already there. And we're going to see very high-end products towards, obviously, the rich, because the rich buy it and use it and troubleshoot it, and as it becomes less expensive, it funnels down to everybody else. And people are going to be able to what you call pure capitalism, where you're able to see a product on the shelf, and you get the QR code, and it'll tell you where it came from, how it was sourced, any bad reviews, hidden ingredients will all be revealed, so you will be the most informed about any product in human history. And we're going to start seeing those things happen. We already have them in our phone. All we just need is, and there's so many microchips that are so smaller that can be fitted in such tiny areas that we have the technology to put it in a contact. I don't know if it's going to be uncomfortable. It might be something you might need to get used to, and most likely like the big old cell phone back in the 80s, right? Now we have a computer in our hand. So, but I think you'll start seeing people use it in crazy ways. So eye technology Contact technology to replace the phone, the computer, and information will start to poke its head out this year. Take a look for that. We also have the GPS 3 coming out, and that should be major pinpointing of our locations. As you know, I am an Uber driver, and that thing ain't so accurate. And even the GPS on our iPhones and our Samsungs are not that accurate. So when GPS 3, it should be 3 times more accurate. It should almost tell you to a pinpoint where you are. When you are walking somewhere with a map and it tells you you're like 2 minutes away, that's always off. And you got to use your eyes and visuals. But when you're in a place that has so many stores and you're not sure if it's across the street with the GPS, all that's going to go. We're going to fine tune where we are on the earth. I feel that there's going to be laws about deep fake and deep audio that are going to need to come out because AI is making them way more convincing. Some people just can't tell the difference, and I don't know, there might be disclaimers that this is fake, and if they're not, there should be great laws against it. Also, corporations pretending that people are talking to a real person when they're talking to an AI. They're probably going to make them display that or confess that or warn them that this is a AI technology that you're talking to, instead of making people believe that. But I know, and most people are not going to like it, but you never know. The AI technology might be more efficient than talking to humans. Let me tell you, have you talked to some humans? Some of them can be idiots on the phone, and they just like pretend like they know, and they'll give you advice based upon their knowledge. I mean, I don't know how many times I had a freaking computer tech tell me to, reset my hard drive because we can't fix it, and I take it to my friend who would fix it really easily. Because, so the AI will have that information. It's going to be pretty accurate, more accurate than humans. And this is why AI is going to be more accepted, because the efficiency of AI and the amount of information an artificial intelligence can hold to fix problems and troubleshoot problems is going to be better than humans. So we're naturally going to accept it. At first, we might be apprehensive. But if they give us the answers that we need and problems are solved, we're more likely going to want them to do that. And we're going to see that. You can have a human that can empathize with you, but they get shit wrong. Or you can have a computer, an AI system, pretend like it's empathizing with you and give you correct information. You're still going to get the same empathy, but one's from a robot, one from the human. But at the end, we need to start to become a society of results. And what are the results? What are the results of artificial technology if they are more better than human results? You're going to see society eventually, when it comes down to your pocketbook and solving your problems, you're going to be for it if they do it. And that's how they're going to destroy the earth, because they're going to help us and then they're going to turn on us. I don't know if that's going to happen. That might happen. Do they have the ability to happen? Yeah, if our stupid people give them powers that they shouldn't have and let them contemplate questions that they shouldn't be contemplating, of course, there's a problem. But I think Americans are smarter. Like I always say, it's not America I'm worried about. It is places like China who people are not allowed to question, and they're just trying to beat us and get more advanced artificial intelligence, and first that artificial intelligence will say America is too much of a threat and launches nuclear bombs, and then we have to go back, whatever. I'm worried about other people that don't have the same values that we have, or the same fears we have in expanding artificial intelligence. I think home connectivity is going to explode. It's going to start to go into way more parts of our lives. I mean, a lot of them, you can control your TV, your heater, your lights, your air conditioner. You can answer your door, open your door. What are we looking at? We're looking at it making your food. We're looking at being able to take things out of the refrigerator, put it in a oven. There is right now an oven that has a freezer on the bottom. It goes up and it defrosts, and then it goes up and starts to cook it, all on your time that you want it to happen. It's just getting the food to there. But we're looking with robotics that have home connectivity be completely controlled through your phone. Everything in your house, washing clothes, folding clothes. We're going to see this stuff begin to come out this year. A more connected home to you. We're going to see some major advancements in 3D printing. We're going to see biological 3D printing. We're going to see people start to use, and they already happen, but start to use organs that were 3D printed. And this is going to be a game changer for our health. People who, I don't know if they're doing a liver yet, but people who destroyed their liver because of the way they eat or the way they drink, if they can replace that liver, that might be the very high end. It's more likely your heart can be replaced more than a liver, but that will come. If you can replace your liver, and if you can replace a heart and lungs and have them 3D printed, that is a game changer, people. And it needs to start to come out now. And I think we're going to see people who are rich going to benefit of that. But it needs to happen quick. It needs to go through the rich and get funneled down to the poor and have it adopted by the government. And if it becomes efficient enough, the government will just give with free healthcare, or just to let you know, we have free healthcare in this country. You just have to wait in line for it. They're not going to make you pay for it. Okay? People say we need free healthcare. We already have it. We have the right now you can go into a hospital and they can't refuse care, and they'll try to get money for you, but they'll never get it, and it'll always be on your credit report, but nobody looks at it when it's concerning your getting a car or a home loan, because nobody pays their medical bills. So that's another rant for another day. So 3D printing, we're going to see them making houses. It is the advent of 3D printing and robots that are going to create. Right now we get these circular houses that are made where the 3D printer makes it, right? But then you're going to see, as it gets more sophisticated, you're going to see rivets made and walls made and have robotics place them in place, and you're going to have a whole house built by robots and 3D printing. We're going to start seeing that become a real answer to homelessness, whether it should happen or not, whether the homeless will change their mentality. I don't know. A lot of people offer these things as solutions to homelessness, but there's a deeper systemic problem with homelessness, that if you just give somebody something, that they're going to respect it and change their life around it, when the things that need to be fixed are in here and in here. But we're going to start seeing government use these things We're going to see people take these 3D printers and use them for green advancements, creating green, eco-friendly homes made out of like dirt and water and other stuff. It's going to be amazing. But so building, constructing roads, printing out bones, organs, we're going to start seeing some of that come up in this new year. It's going to be we thought 2022 was going to be this igniting year to do a lot of things, and it wasn't quite. We're still feeling the effects of the terrible policies of COVID. And it's not really COVID. COVID happened. It's the terrible policies implemented that slowed human ingenuity, slowed the economy, slowed entrepreneurism, and destroyed people's work value and habits. So this next year, you're either going to be a part of the new economy or you're just going to be left behind. And you're going to see people who really want to have a fantastic life, an extraordinary life, take off. So 3D printing. We'll see in this next year that augmented reality, artificial reality will be the main hub for gaming. We're going to leave we're going to leave games that you look at a television, they're all going to be gone. The technology is growing so fast and it's so amazing. It's just going to be ridiculous that you don't use a VR set to play these games, to be more immersive. There'll be some stragglers, but it will be the major gaming console from here on. You just wait this Christmas. This Christmas, it'll be 90% of the, there's a prediction, 80%, more than 50%, 70%. Don't want to be too crazy. 70% of the consoles sold for gaming will be VR, if that's not how it happened already. That's where the world is going. Augmented reality. The more that is a viable, then quite frankly, FaceTime, where people and their avatar can go into a meeting and that avatar be pretty accurate to what you look like and your facial expressions. You can be somewhere across the world and feel that you are accurately represented through that avatar. This is where it's going. This is where the world's going. This is what Microsoft is betting on. That if we can have that meeting and you can work from home and you don't have to come in. Hold on, somebody's calling me. Ya son of a bitch. Sorry about that. My mother was calling me. Me mother. Before I come down, can I stop and get something from the market? Oh, the work of a son is never done. It's never done. Augmented reality. This is where it's going. If they can, if you're someone who works at home and you don't have to drive in, but you can actually be in a meeting and that boss felt that he had a connection with you in the way that he wants to in that meeting, they'll do it. We can very much see everybody where there's no product involved but just services, that paperwork and stuff like that, where your business is run that way. You can see very much people just working from home, going into these avatar meetings, getting their marching orders for the day, and then come back out and do their work, and it'll just be based on your productivity instead of controlling whether you're sleeping on the job, whether all those things are going to be done the way, and we're going to have metrics, whether you're producing or not producing. When you are earning your income or you're not earning income by what you're producing. And they'll have their own quotas and statistics for that. And this is where the world is going. We've seen it on sci-fi shows all the time. And COVID has pushed that technology. The one good thing about COVID is that it was too expensive for corporations to send people home, and hopefully they did work. It was a big risk until COVID made everybody stay home. And the companies just told them to do that work, and they saw that a lot of people were not only efficient, but more efficient. And those who were not efficient, they lost their jobs. And we're getting into a less bullshit reality. If, ironically, we're seeing something that is not real, but is going to produce real results. So let me get into space. This is what we have going on right now, right? We got a couple things that need to happen. That are there's a lot of things that in the space race that are happening for this next coming year. We got a Euclid, which is a European study that's going to be sending out a satellite that measures dark energy and dark matter, and hopefully the mysteries of the universe is going to happen. It's going to be revealed. We have on to the moon. We have India, we have Russia, NASA, and corporations all sending their own little crafts to the moon this coming year. We got Artemis 2 that will eventually establish a base on the moon, but it needs to start just going around the moon, and Artemis 2 is going to do that. We're going to see the Ariane 6 European Union ship, but the major thing, the Falcon 9 and the Falcon Heavy are going to be get back to work and do almost like around 20 different, between them both, 20 different trips to the space station and a lot of tests to see its capabilities and to land those boosters back on the ground. And then we have the Starship by SpaceX that will probably go further than any ship of that size has ever gone, and start to test the viability of going to Mars, and that will be on the Starship. And they're planning to do, I don't want to say maybe about 20 launches this year to accelerate trips to the space station, to the future moon space station, and to trek out into Mars. A lot of people are relying on Elon Musk getting focused on space and covering a lot of ground that he missed last year, focusing on Twitter. So I'm going to assume those things are going to happen as of schedule. I don't know. He wanted to go to Mars by 2006. I think it's pushed, 2008. I think it's pushed towards the end of the decade because of the pandemic and because of Twitter debacle. And, but that's fine. That'll be something to look forward to live for. I don't have very many other predictions. When it comes to space travel, I just expect them to do what they say they're going to do this year. And they didn't do it last year. And I'm going to say, barring no disasters, that if each one hits their mark, they should get back up to schedule. And barring no war and another pandemic, we should be all good, or a zombie apocalypse for that matter. So those are my predictions for this year, what I think was going to happen. I think artificial intelligence, what I think is going to happen with artificial intelligence, I think we're going to see it more really slowly implemented in our lives even more. And if we're not on, I think we're going to have to make some rules for artificial intelligence and laws. And we haven't done that yet. We just have scientists saying there should be. And these are the laws, and they're all agreeing on it, which is great. But we need some federal laws, and people go to jail if they don't, if they give too much power to artificial intelligence. That's what I think. I think we will slowly still see the advancements of autonomous cars driving themselves, and we're going to see a lot of companies present their electronic cars, and SpaceX is going to, Tesla's going to have to step up his game to stay the leader of the electric car game. And I don't know if they're going to do that. Hopefully they're going to do that. I don't know if they're going to be focused on that because their designs need to change. That truck was a disaster. It was just ugly, and very few people bought it. And Americans need a more utilitarian, more functional one, and hopefully they do that. They revamp the truck. I know their semis are coming out, which are going to be great, and we'll see what happens. So, I think I've talked long enough. Coming back, I'll try to do a podcast every week. Check out my QR code. It'll link you to all my social media accounts. You can follow me. Everything I talked about before, my YouTube, all the things that I'm into right now and doing right now. I got things coming up that I'm excited about, and I'll let you know when they're available. I'm really hoping that you have a great new year. Join the Brightburn Society Facebook group. I will help your journey to success. So this is James Salazar signing out of the James Salazar Media Podcast. So when the storm of life come against you and you find yourself on your knees, stand tall, take a look at that storm and say what my sensei Jack Burton always says, give me your best shot. Strike the music. See
Oi, 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 oi.